To order the Human Services Committee. First item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. The chair will entertain a motion.
So moved. Support.
Thank you. Any questions with respect to the agenda? All those in favor of adopting the agenda will please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. We're now up to public comment. Public comment is now open. Please approach the podium, introduce yourself. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Thank you for the opportunity to speak this afternoon. My name is Rebecca Calkins. I am a community nutrition instructor with Michigan State University Extension. I am also a Jackson County resident. I want to begin by thanking you for your continued support of MSU Extension here in Jackson County. This support is really crucial for providing high-quality, community-based education to our local families. One example of the impact that I personally have is through a curriculum called Teen Cuisine, an evidence-based youth cooking course and nutrition program. We've used that demonstration kitchen in our office to teach those teens aging out of foster care through MYOI, or Michigan Youth and Opportunities Initiative, MDHHS. These young people are often entering into adulthood without that consistent support, and learning how to cook those simple meals, planning ahead, stretching those food dollars really gives them that practical life skills that can support that independence and continued health throughout their life. I've also taught Teen Cuisine out at the Jackson County Youth Center, working with teens in detention and the treatment setting, and these youth are learning how to prepare those healthy meals, again, stretching those food dollars, and also increasing access to nutritious foods. And these teens that have faced these significant challenges, these skills can be empowering and life-changing. I also teach youth, younger children, as well as adults that are feeding families, AKA parents and grandparents. This school year, I was out at Kiker Elementary, grades 3 through 6. I also taught an adult cooking class with the clients at the Interfaith Shelter out at that beautiful demonstration kitchen at the Jackson YMCA. And these parents were able to bring their children, and it was really family focused, and they were able to learn with their kids. I had a mother share with me, I never thought about cooking with my kids before. It was just kind of a me thing, right? But now after this class, I really think it's going to be a meaningful part of our family and moving forward, in a great way for us to connect as a family. So these moments really show that nutrition education isn't just about food. It really is about supporting the family and supporting lifelong access to healthy and nutritious foods. So all of these programs serving youth, students, and their families really made possible by your strong local support and collaboration with the shared spaces that we have and the staff and the partnerships. It really creates an impact for our Jackson County residents. So I want to thank you for that continued support and that partnership and the opportunity to serve this community. So I truly appreciate your time this afternoon. Thank you.
Additional public comment? Public comment is now open.
Good afternoon. My name is Brian Bowman. I'm a lifelong Jackson County resident. As a retired registered nurse, I've gained years of experience working with and advocating for Jackson's senior citizens. Recently, I've applied for a position on the Wellwise area agency on seniors, and I would appreciate your support in my nomination to the position there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is My name's Lisa Miletic, and I'm a registered nurse in the state of Michigan. I'm a graduate of Kent State University. I previously held a credentialed specialty in gerontological nursing through the American Nurses Credentialing Center. I have been a nursing supervisor for a 203-bed nursing home in Ohio. I have worked in home care setting in Wayne and Washtenaw counties, providing physical care, patient education, community resource education, and facilitating these resources. I have managed RNs and aides at the University of Michigan Home Care in Wayne County, Lenawee, and Jackson counties. Again, educating nurses and coordinating with social workers for community resources best to care for the patient's well-being, to hopefully stay safe and improve their safety at home and services. Lastly, I worked in various clinics at University of Michigan, speaking with patients on a daily basis. And as a patient advocate, I would help with community resources to fill the gaps in their needs. In between retiring and my volunteer work, I was a caregiver for my elderly mother and my oldest sister. And since then, I volunteered at Habitat for Humanity, the House Next Door thrift shop in Napoleon, and my garden. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Additional public comment. Last call for public comment. Public comment is now closed. We move on to committee items. First item is minutes from last month's meeting. The chair will entertain a motion. Thank you, Commissioner Snell, Commissioner Willis. Any questions with respect to the minutes from last month? Seeing none, all those in favor will please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Now to appointments. The first item up is the Department on Aging Advisory Council for a seat whose term expires in December of 2026. The current incumbent is Mary Jo Chown. There have been no applicants for that spot. Are there any nominations from the floor? Hearing none, we'll continue to advertise that particular opening. Next is the Veterans Affairs spot for a veteran whose term would expire March of 2030. The current member is Bill Tripp. The applicant is Carissa Barton. Are there any?
I'll nominate Carissa Barton.
Carissa Barton is nominated. Are there any other nominations for that spot? Hearing none, all those in favor of forwarding Carissa Barton to the full board with a recommendation for approval will please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Now to the Wellwise Area Agency on Aging. We will take the public seat for a term expiring April of 2028, currently held by Robert Harvey. And there are 6 applicants. The chair will entertain nominations.
Nominate Robert Harvey.
Robert Harvey is nominated. Commissioner Bear.
For that position, I would like to nominate Lindsay Shield,
Lindsay Shield is
Brian
nominated.
Bowman,
I'm sorry?
Julie Hackworth, and Lisa Meletic.
Thank you. You may nominate as many as you choose. You may only vote for one at a time. Any other further I guess everyone has been nominated except for Ken Wyatt. All right. Madam Clerk, you will please call the roll. Oh,
Before we go there, Chairman, you just said we can only vote for one at a time. We have 6 candidates.
Commissioner Barry, you only get to vote once in each round of voting.
Okay. But we have 6 candidates. We don't have just one candidate.
Commissioner Barry, you may vote for any of the ones you nominated, but you may not vote for more than one in each round of voting.
Thank you.
We do not have a nomination for Ken Wyatt, not at this time, no. The nominees are Robert Harvey, Lindsay Shield, Brian Bowman, Julie Hackworth, and Lisa Meletic.
You just listed 3 candidates. There's 6.
Commissioner Bear, we have nominated for Harvey's spot, Robert Harvey, Lindsay Shield, Brian Bowman, Julie Hackworth, and Lisa Meletic.
Thank you.
Are there any further nominees? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, at your convenience.
Commissioner Bear,
Lisa Maletic.
Commissioner Willis,
Robert Harvey.
Commissioner Snell,
Robert Harvey.
Committee Chair Pulaski.
Harvey.
Harvey passes 3-1.
Very good, thank you. Now we move to the spot for a public seat expiring in April of 2028. Current member is Ken Wyatt.
Nominate Ken Wyatt.
Ken Wyatt is nominated. Are there further nominations?
Yes, sir. I'd like to nominate Lindsay Chill, Brian Bowman, Julie Hackworth, and Lisa Maletic.
Thank you. Any further nominations? Hearing none, Madam Clerk, at your convenience.
Commissioner Willis,
Ken Wyatt.
Commissioner Snell,
Wyatt.
Commissioner Bear,
Maletic.
Committee Chair Pulaski.
Wyatt.
Wyatt passes 3-1.
Thank you. And now for the seat whose term expires April of 2028. Current incumbent is Cynthia Richardson. She has not reapplied. Chair will entertain nominations.
Nominate Lisa Maletic.
Lisa Maletic is nominated. Did I say that right, Lisa? Thank you. Commissioner Bear.
Like to nominate Brian Bowman, Lindsay Shield, and Julie Hackworth.
Okay. Commissioner Snell, did you have any comments to make?
I did. Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to thank all the applicants. I talked to each and every one of them over the last couple of weeks. I don't think we do wrong by any of the applicants. Very strong, seem to be strong advocates for the mission of working with seniors, keeping them in their homes. And like I said, I don't think we go wrong with any of them. And that's my comment.
Thank you. Any further commentary before we conduct our vote? Madam Clerk, when you're ready.
Commissioner Snell,
Maletic.
Commissioner Bear,
Brian Bowman.
Commissioner Willis,
Maletic.
Committee Chair Pulaski.
Maletic.
Maletic passes 3-1.
Thank you. Thank you, commissioners, for an energetic process. These, just for everyone's notice, these are recommendations to the full board. The final appointments will occur at next Tuesday's County Board of Commissioners meeting, 7 o'clock at this room. Okay, 7 o'clock Tuesday night. Okay? And I would also like to echo Commissioner Snell's commentary that we had a really nice slate of excellent and qualified people. We could not have made a mistake here, and that's a really gratifying thing to know. We will now be up to the WellWise semi-annual report.
Good afternoon. Is it afternoon? Yeah. I'm Kara Lorenz Goings, the CEO at Wellwise Services. So thank you all so much for your commitment to the nominations of our board. It's very gratifying to see such an interest in our board, and I appreciate Commissioner Snell's activity with talking to the candidates. So I just wanted to thank the commission for that. Just to remind everyone, our mission is to serve older adults, adults with disabilities, and their caregivers to remain independent in the community. We have 85-ish employees now throughout the 3 counties, Jackson, Lenawee, and Hillsdale County, and we have over 80 contracted providers that do the work in the community. So the report you see here details, oh, and I wanted to mention, the majority of our staff, we have nurses, we have social workers, we have options counselors, we have community health workers. We obviously have many people answering the phone, and just a variety of different, a finance department, variety of employees at our agency. So our report here that you see details spent Older Americans Act funding in Jackson County through February 2026. It is not representative of all budgeted or awarded funds. So as a reminder, our contractors are permitted to submit transfer requests to allow for budget flexibility within the fiscal year. So how does this work? Contractors submit monthly cash requests and budget reports, and monthly meetings are held to discuss funding and trends in spending. So for example, this is how Jackson Department on Aging would work with WellWise services. So I also wanted to mention, we have the fiscal year 2027 through 2029 multi-year planning process coming up. And just to remind everyone, our fiscal year is October 1st through September 30. So multi-year planning kind of lays out the land for what we will be doing in the community for that period of time. Right now, we have an active community needs survey out. Information is gathered from the survey that informs service delivery, program development, and grant spending for the next 3 years. You can find that information. We would provide a flyer to you all, but also to complete the community needs assessment, you can get that information on our website, on social media. It's a variety of places. We're trying to get it out everywhere. We will host a public hearing at our office on Tuesday, May 19th at 10 a.m. Focus groups will be held at various locations throughout the region and throughout the counties. Flyers and invitations will be shared with you all very soon. Our multi-year plan is due to the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services by the end of June. Older Americans Act requests for proposals will also be issued in June for our potential contractors. So some other agency updates. As probably you all know, our office space, our main location is right in Brooklyn, Michigan. We've had a newer structure there for the last few years. Dr. Cole had been there for years and donated the property to us, and our board of directors were so supportive to build a structure during the pandemic of all things, but it's been a very used space and the community really loves it. So right now, you wouldn't quite believe it, but we're already doing renovations in our new structure. We were awarded an infrastructure grant from the state of Michigan for software and physical structure, and our board has also supported a lower level renovation at our building in Brooklyn. So it's been very nice that the board supported that and MDHHS. So the project should be completed towards June. We're expanding the space downstairs. We have enhanced fitness going on now, and it's such a big hit in our community. There's several different workout opportunities for older adults to come. So we're expanding the space for that. We really were just kind of doing a makeshift area for that in our lower levels. So we'll have that space. We'll have more office spaces, some restrooms down there, amongst other things. And we're doing a lot of other things with the grants, enhancing our IT equipment, security cameras outside, privacy features in our building for when visitors are in, that sort of thing. WellWise Services has also been selected to present 3 sessions this year at the National U.S. Aging Conference in San Diego. So that's the main conference of the year that really highlights the area agencies on aging through the nation. There's over 600 in the nation. There's 16 in our state. The programs that they actually reached out to us, right, in our 3 counties here to highlight is, one is our assistive technology program. So that's where people, we have staff that can go in and hook up the people we serve with assistive technology of all natures. It's really interesting work to get their home working as independently as possible with technology. Safe Haven, which is our program that supports people who are survivors of abuse, neglect, or exploitation. We'll be doing a presentation there with our consultants and myself. And then we'll also be doing a presentation there on our grant planning and development. our agency in our state has really been highlighted even at the state area agency on aging conference for the great work we do between the program side and really the funding side of our agency. It really works efficiently, and so that session will highlight that. Last month, we attended U.S. Aging's annual policy briefing in Washington, D.C., where we met with lawmakers to advocate on the behalf of older adults, adults with disabilities, and their caregivers. Last week, WellWise received our full-year federal award. The Older Americans Act remains level funding. It hasn't grown that much to keep up with the population growth, but it is level, so we are pleased with that. This week, we will meet with state lawmakers to advocate for fiscal year 2027 appropriations. Actually, tomorrow, I believe. WellWise has several upcoming events to pay attention to. We have a public hearing coming up on May 19th at 10 a.m. We have an Elder Justice Lunch and Learn on June 4th at noon. That's going to be community agency focused. We're trying to get people more active in our Elder Justice Coalition that we run for the 3 counties. So community agency, law enforcement, all kinds of people will be there. We'll be doing a panel presentation and having booths for community agencies to be a part of to talk about the prevention work in the 3 counties. We're having our annual celebration on June 16th at noon. We're having our 9th annual Safe Haven benefit at June 24th at 5 p.m. back at the Eagle's Nest where it all began 9 years ago. So we're pretty excited about that project. Also, I wanted to mention this Wednesday, WellWise will host an annual Older Americans Act contractor meeting to discuss community needs, state and federal updates, and best practices. Jackson Department on Aging will be part of that. And I just wanted to mention one last thing. It's a very interesting time in our country. In 2011, 10,000 people a day started turning 65 every day, which I know many of you have heard that. Right now, I've just recently heard we're in something called the shift. So in 2025, 10,000 people a day started turning 80. So we have both things happening at the same time, which is really interesting with the work we do and being flexible to support people's needs. We work in a very person-centered way, and someone who's 65 definitely has different needs than someone who's 80 and all kinds of things like that. So I just wanted to mention that. Does anyone have any questions?
Questions for WellWise? Commissioner Snell, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just want to say that I've been impressed with the transition. It's been smooth, and the mission hasn't stopped, and in fact, it seems to be increasing, and I appreciate everything you do.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you on our board.
Chair will entertain a motion to receive the report. Thank you, Commissioner Snell and Commissioner Bear. All those in favor will please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is the medical care facility financial statements. I don't see anybody here from the medical care facility. We will move past that item for right now. Please take note of the reports in any event, commissioners. Next up is the MSU Extension Semi-Annual Report. And they are here.
We are. Well, good afternoon, Commissioners. I appreciate the time to give you our semi-annual report. And just wanted to highlight a few things for you that happened in 2025 and then provide you with a couple of resources that you may have interest in for 2026. As you know, our mission with Michigan State University Extension is to work with individuals, communities, and businesses to make lives better. And we do that through a number of different ways, just bringing university resources to bear in the community. We, of course, are open to all, meaning any Jackson resident can take advantage of our services, and the majority of our services are free to those who participate. For myself, I'm Mary Bowling. I apologize, I forgot to say that. But I cover District 12 for MSU Extension. You see here on the map, District 12 is made up of 6 counties, including Jackson County here in Southeast Michigan. And we have a number of different types of employees that work in each of the counties, everything from educators and specialists to paraprofessionals, administrative assistants, and even temporary on-call in some counties. We also have a district advisory council, and Tony Bear is on our district advisory council. So thank you very much for doing that for us. We meet quarterly. Our council is made up of 2 to 3 residents from each county that is in the district, and it always includes at least 1 county commissioner. So we're happy to have folks on our council who can help advise us, help us identify emerging issues, things that may be of importance to folks in the county that maybe we're not hearing from, and where we can be of service. Our extension is made up of 4 different institutes, and so we have staff in all 4 of those institutes. AABI, which is our Agriculture and Ag Business Institute, that's our typical, we're dealing with crops and animals. Our emergency response to animals or accidents involving livestock or E-rail, breakfast on the farm, those types of programs. For HNI, you just heard from Rebecca, one of our nutrition instructors that actually works here in Jackson County. And we have a number of other folks that are doing anything from, diabetes and chronic illness education to food preservation. And you can come in and have your pressure cooker lid tested to make sure that when you're canning things that you're doing it safely. So a lot of different things that we cover there. Our Community Foods and Environment Institute, we do a lot of our civic engagement programs and that sort of thing, environmental education, economics, and community development. And then, of course, our CYI, which is Children and Youth Institute, and that's where we do a lot of our work with 4-H and our family services for caregivers and those types of programs. So, we do programs both in person and virtually. We have self-paced courses that people can do on their own time. We also have in real-time webinars and things like that. People can drop in and ask questions of those experts. And of course, we have other resources where people, we like to say, if you have a question, chances are that Extension does that. And so always, if you're not sure, you can always call our office, and we'd be more than happy to either direct you to the resources we have or direct you to others in the community who are doing those programs that we don't necessarily do. Next, just wanted to share with you that our Jackson County Annual Report is coming soon. It's in the final stages of editing right now, and some exciting things to report in there, not just the data, but really a way to talk about the impact that we're having here in Jackson County. And I just wanted to share with you one that I actually got this morning from a woman named Megan with Old Dog Sauce and Spice. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's a veteran-based business. It's out of Horton. And our product center folks from that Community Foods and Environment Institute have been working with them for a number of years. And they just shared with us, Megan shared with us this morning, how their work with our product center has been extremely beneficial to their barbecue sauce company as they, as we, the product center, helped with the early stages of product development, including HACCP training, which is teaching them how to handle food safely. And then suggesting a grant that they actually applied for and received because of the support of the product center. So we help food-based businesses like that get up off the ground, or if they're already established, we can help them with product labels or taste testing or product labeling and those sorts of things. So just a number of different ways that we're going to talk about the impact that we're having in that annual report. And also included in the annual report will be a list of some of the partners that we're working with in Jackson County. So this is just a sampling of those folks that we're working with here in Jackson County. We'll have the full list in that annual report. And then just some preliminary numbers. We had 417 programs that were attended by residents here in the county. We have 231 adult volunteers that are helping people, mainly youth, but sometimes gardening clubs and things like that. We have, speaking of youth, we have over 2,000 youth that are involved in our programs every year, and that number continues to grow. And with our staff, just here in Jackson County, we've contributed over 17,000 hours of programming to individuals. So a number of different ways that Jackson residents are taking part in our program. And then next, I just want to talk about, we conducted a needs assessment with our youth in 2025, and these were the top 4 life skills programs that youth said they wanted to have. So you'll see more of these things coming up here in 2025 and then, or I'm sorry, 2026 and into 27 and beyond. We're trying to hear from the youth, figuring out what is it that they need to be successful humans, right? As we go out into the community and we become adults, these are some skills that they've said that they need. So we're going to start seeing that. Next, I wanted to show you, I did bring a hard copy, but I also, there's a lot of links on this. Data centers are a really hot topic right now. MSU Extension has developed a number of different resources for municipalities. Pros and cons, we're not in favor of or against. We're just trying to help municipalities understand the issue and figure out what's right for their communities. And so there's lots of different hot links in this. You'll see the URL down here. I have a hard copy I can leave with you today. And please call our office if you'd like that electronically or in some other format. But I encourage you, if data centers are of interest to you, to really dive into that. And it also has Eric Nordman and Jean Hardy are our specialists that are working on that. And so if there's something that you have a question about that's not in this resource pamphlet, then please feel free. Their contact information is listed here and on the flyer, so you can reach out to them as well. And then while I'm on the topic of newly developed resources, this just came across my desk this morning. And many of you might be familiar with our new county commissioner school. Typically, we hold that every 2 years. With the change to county commissioners being elected every 4 years, we've developed a new program that's County Commissioner Midterm Essentials. And that program will talk about state and local, the fiscal outlook, intergovernmental collaboration, best practices, effective governance in challenging climate, and networking with other county officials. There's 2 options available, June 10th in Grayling and October 7th in East Lansing. I'll leave that flyer for you as well. But again, contact my office if you need any assistance with that. For those folks who want to take advantage of that, I think that would be a great way to get up-to-date information from our colleagues there. And then one other way that you can stay connected, here in Jackson County, we have a conservation agronomist, Madeline Solofsky, and she puts out a monthly newsletter. You can use the QR code to sign up, or again, contact our office to get signed up for that. And she sends once a month, she sends out updates on what's happening with crops, drought levels, things of that nature, specific to our district. She's working with our other conservation agronomist, Corriday, who works out of the Lenawee County office, and they together do this once a month thing. So that's all I have. Do you have any questions for me?
Questions for MSU Extension? We appreciate the work you're doing.
All right,
Thank you for doing it. Chair will entertain a motion to receive the report. Thank you, Commissioner Bear, Commissioner Snell. All in favor will please say aye. Aye. Any opposed?
Thank you for your support.
Thank you. Thank you. And now the Department on Aging. I think Danielle is up. Hi, Danielle. Come on down, yeah.
Good afternoon, everybody. Just to highlight just a couple of things this month, and we made it through the Soups On fundraiser, which was a huge success. So thank you for anybody that was able to attend that event. When I was here last time, we talked about the number of sponsors, and we actually, after the event, we had an additional sponsorship come in, and that was actually through Myers. They donated $2,000 to support the Meals on Wheels here in Jackson County, and that was from the Airport Road Myers. So we, again, appreciate their support. We had over 97 items in our silent auction, and it's always interesting to kind of calculate out what's the average per item, and that came in about $55.45, so amazing silent auction. Our friends of Jackson Seniors Board did a great job in getting out there and talking to all the different businesses and energizing all that support for the auction. And our aging team, we're kind of like the backbones behind the scenes, putting the behind the scenes activities going on, from checking people in, getting information out to people to attend, painting the bowls, things like that. So again, a very successful event. Over $35,000 was raised. So I think that was their highest amount yet in this year. They'll meet again in June to help determine what they'll do with those funds. Generally, in the past, it's gone to support the purchase of a van for Meals on Wheels. But again, that is something that the board will talk about at that meeting. They've set the date for March 9th of 2027, again on a Tuesday. So they've set that date for the new year. After the event, we actually had interest from 2 restaurants that would like to participate next year. So we're kind of already reaching out and generating that list of potential restaurants that will be at the event. So when checking in with the people that participated this last year, trying to see ways that we can improve the activity and just make it a great time. It really is an opportunity to connect with the community, to raise awareness about Meals on Wheels, how it supports caregivers and older adults in the community. So just more to come. I also wanted to highlight our Lunch and Learn activity that we're going to be working on here at the end of the month. We haven't partnered with the City Rec Department in a little while, so it was great to get back at it. So we have Julie Weisbrod, who will be coming from the City Rec Department, and we're going to talk about the new food pyramid. And we have about 45 people already registered for that. We're going to put on a meal from the Department on Aging, kind of highlighting what we have to offer at the Crouch Senior Center. But again, getting people together, talk about nutrition, ways to improve their overall health. So more to come after that event. And I also then attached kind of a note, and I'm sorry, on my report it kind of drifted down into 2 pages, but I really just wanted to take a moment to highlight that we had a card come in from a family member to our Meal on Wheel driver, and the family talks about, "I would like to thank you from the deepest depth of all of our hearts for noticing our grandmother wasn't well. If you had not notified her neighbor, we would have lost her that day. She had a heart attack and she was rushed to the hospital because of your response." So again, when you think about Meals on Wheels, and we always talk about the food, it really is that personal contact that's so important. So just being able to share that with the driver, the important impact with all of the drivers, recognizing when they see a need with the person, informing our office so that we can make contact with family if needed. Last week, we also got a call from Country Stitches, and their patrons are truly a supporter of Meals on Wheels. We had over 200 placemats come in, so we picked those up from them, and I just kind of highlight a couple. They just do a lot of detail, so there's a variety that will kind of fit the personality of the people that we work with. So we'll have the drivers take those out here this week. And variety for men and women of cats lover, dog lover. There's just such an amazing job that they do. They also donated like 10 Afghans to be given out. So again, the support that we receive from the community, the businesses is so important. We appreciate it. And we also were contacted by Comerica Bank regarding like the Soups On program. They would like to do a couple different things, having bowls come out to their locations so that they can paint bowls for the fundraiser. But they also want to do a team building at the Department on Aging where they can pack emergency meals. Like I've mentioned before, we hand those out throughout the year. So we'll be coordinating an activity where they can come on site, learn about the Department on Aging, and also then support the program through the emergency meal packing. So that's really all I had this month.
Questions for the Department on Aging? Soups On. Candy won two, not one, but two 50/50s. She was very embarrassed. She was very embarrassed. But she gave it back. So I hope it was successful in that regard. Chair will entertain a motion. Yeah, it was the tear the cards in half thing. We got drawn twice.
That was the goal of the fundraiser, get it all back in the
Get Pileski to win it. Yeah, I'll give it back.
Never
Okay.
an expectation, though.
No.
I told Candy to go spend it at the auction.
We did spend money at the auction, yeah, so it all worked out nicely. Chair will entertain a motion to receive the report. We have that from Commissioner Willis and Commissioner Bear. All in favor will please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Thank you,
All right, thank you.
Danielle. Keep up the good work. And now, Health Officer Kristen Pluta for the Health Department. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Commissioners. Again, I am here before you once again for a monthly report. Again, following our basics, oh my goodness, I can't speak, so maybe I'm not here for a monthly report. Following our basic and standard practices, going through kind of all of what's going on in our programs. Couple things to highlight to you. Over the last few months, I have been trying to put some information in some of our responses that we received from our surveys in our community health programs. Specifically this month, the maternal infant health program. Focusing when you see some words like that our staff is helpful and kind, and that during pregnancy and the early part of motherhood, being treated like you matter. Those things are important to me as a leader in the organization, that those are the attributes that our staff exemplify when out in the community helping those. Also, just that's what's not in this report is just coming off of last week was National Public Health Week, celebrated. There's a week for everything, but weekday, but National Public Health Week celebrated by the American Public Health Association. So, I think it's really important to remember how many of our staff are out there doing, really amazing work in the community. So, this report that I'm able to share with you, is really a testament to their work and the ability of those individuals to reach and make a difference in people's lives. One of the things I'll just point out, I try to make sure that our acronyms are all pointed out in there, but I did notice that in the Health Education and Empowering Youth Today section, CSL didn't have that designated, and I just want to make sure that that's aware that that's community service learning. Each of those programs, Empowering Youth Today and our Teen Pregnancy Prevention Program, have attributes of community service learning, where they have to go out and do community service to those. So not only are we teaching them, but they're giving back to their community as well. Skip through a little bit of the health education, the rest of that. There is obviously information there about what's going on in our school wellness program, our opioid response, our opioid settlement fund information, but I'll jump over to the personal and preventative health services. I will keep, putting our sexual health. We're out in the community on 2 days a week doing not only sexual health testing, but also immunizations for those that we reach and contact while we're out in the community, as well as on the next page, our communicable disease, which is why our immunizations are so important to prevent those kind of communicable disease. In the news, I'm sure you have heard about measles. We've had measles cases in our neighbors to the east of us. Not only, there were 7 cases so far in Washtenaw and then 1 in Monroe. Fortunately, we have not had any here, but it is something. It's one of those diseases that we want to make sure that we are trusted partners in the community. So all of these different things that we do trying to create a partnership with community and make sure that people can come to us and ask why we should get a measles vaccination, or, why is this important? And we can, be a trusted agency to give that information one way or another. So our IMS outreach is listed on there as well. Additional information about our WIC program. We are also, I heard mention earlier in presentations today about the educating on the new food pyramid, and our WIC staff are working with that as well. As I did mention a month or two ago about new guidelines and new food packages that the USDA has trickled down to us, and how we, so our staff has been adjusting to educating people who have been on WIC or are coming into WIC on those new food packages and what that entails for each of them individually. So all of those numbers are there. And then lastly, I'll jump back to, I guess not lastly, because I want to point out one program that I don't normally talk about. Our environmental health. It is April, it is spring, the ground is thawed, our field programs are busy out doing well in septic. And then it is also, April also brings our food licensing month. So all of our establishments have to renew their license this month. So we have been busy in the office with that, and just busy. People come in to pay those a lot of times too. So you'll see our front door and our front environmental health staff up there answering questions and taking care of that. I will make note that we are down 2 environmental health sanitarians, one for the food program and one for, which will be our type 2 program, which is our non-community water supply, and then work in that program as well as some of our ancillary programs like campgrounds, pools, MDHHS inspections, body art, those kind of extra programs to help with those. So we had one individual scheduled that rescinded, so now we're back on the hunt for another 2 sanitarians. So they, in that department, have gone from a staff of 7 to 5, so they're, in this busy time, they're busy as well as, the rest of our department doing the things they do. I did put a letter in there. I attached the letter as well, because that writing on the actual report was very small. But just for your information, we go through an accreditation cycle through the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services, MDARD, EGLE, all of the state agencies. And we do that on a 3-year cycle. Our last on-site review was back in November of 2024. We're at the tail end of that, and then they spend 2025 analyzing everything. We received our letter that we were fully accredited and through the state. So that letter is there. And then one last thing to point out and to recognize is we have an emergency preparedness program. It's an emergency preparedness program. If you can think that, just like the emergency manager, I think he was here this morning, is out, preparing for mitigation of different disasters. In most disaster and most issues that happen, the public health is some sort of component in that, and we'll be watching for that. So not only does our staff work very well with the EOC, but our staff is there doing education and making sure that we as a staff are prepared for anything that might come. And Stephanie is our emergency preparedness coordinator, and she has actually hosted 2 community presentations to the local Lions, at a local Lions Club meeting, and the Cascades Amateur Radio Society that she is also a part of as well, to inform them what we do. Also, just provide some general information on what to do. It was I know Jason mentioned it this morning about severe weather awareness, but all of those things, we need to have a prepared staff to respond for those things, and individuals themselves need to be prepared. So she did 2 and received accolades for both of those presentations. So I felt like I just talked a lot, so I'll turn it over to you if there's any questions.
Questions for the Health Department? Commissioner Willis, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a quick question. How have you all been affected, or have you been affected at all by like the COVID era grant clawbacks or the cutbacks to testing and things like that for?
This fiscal year, so fiscal year 2026, which started for us in September, we had substantial cuts. We actually started seeing those cuts back in June of 2025. So we lost some substantial fundings, and those continue to decrease. We're going to be back to not having any supplemental funding probably by next year, back to what we had pre-COVID, funding back to pre-COVID. So we've lost some of our school programming. We've lost a COVID immunizations grant that provided a lot of not only COVID, but emerging threats. So when situations like measles or any of these comes
measles
up, so
testing,
it didn't necessarily,
H5,
it was
yeah.
supporting programs that wasn't specifically COVID. It was
Right.
more on that emerging threats and making us more prepared, but.
So some definite cutbacks in those funding for the
Yes,
testing.
and our
outbreak
staffing.
reporting, data, improving things. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
So, Kristen, I'm going to exhibit my gross ignorance of things healthy. And if you have to punt and get back to me, that's fine. We have vaccinations for so very many things. Why are there not vaccinations for sexually transmitted diseases? Gonorrhea, chlamydia, whatever else there is. I mean, maybe they don't lend themselves to vaccination, and that's the answer. But I'm just curious to know why we don't vaccinate for those or can't vaccinate for those.
I will punt my answer
Perfect,
further
perfect.
down. I don't want to, I can say some things and speculate with. but
I mean,
won't.
if it's
It would
a-
be educated a little bit speculation, but I can definitely, my guess is that just doesn't lend those kind of diseases just doesn't lend to that kind of,
To vaccination.
vaccination, yeah.
In other words, it's not a societal barrier or something like that. It's some specific thing with respect to the diseases that don't lend themselves to vaccination.
Because I think that could be, the case could be asked for a lot of different things,
Sure.
Cancer or other different type of diseases and things like that. Like, I don't know the scientific, kind of reasoning behind
Just-
it, but I'm
I'm
sure
ju-
there might be a better answer than I'm giving you.
I readily admit my ignorance in many things, and this is one of them. So thanks for putting up with my question. Chair Leonard, Commissioner Snell.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just to be clear, the COVID numbers or the money that we got for COVID wasn't expected to be an ongoing forever thing, right? So we expected that we'd have to cut back staff.
Yes,
that's
and the staff that we have had to cut back
Because
have
usually,
been,
as I think somebody said, nothing says forever like a government program.
yes.
But in this case, there was an emergent threat, and response that needed to happen, and then when that went away, the money goes away.
That's correct. And our staff that we did have to cut, we've cut most things through attrition, and we've evaluated need every time someone has left the department, which 99% of the time is on their own for a better offer or for what other purpose, an individual might have for leaving. But since I have been in here and I have had, Matthew and Holly as deputy and our supervisory team, every time someone has left the program, left our programming, we've evaluated the need for that position. I mean, I can explain a need for so many more positions, but we've evaluated the need and how that works with the current funding we've had. Public health and our, state agencies and things will, I think as with everyone can say that we're underfunded but where does that funding come in? So how can we do the services that we need to do that we're required by the Michigan Public Health Law to do within the scope of funding we receive from our local maintenance of effort funding and then our local public health essential services funding or essential local public health services. So
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to receive the report. Thank you, Commissioner Bear, Commissioner Snell. All in favor will please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you.
thank you.
I think we're up to claims, are we not? We are up to claims. Chair will entertain a motion to pay the claims. Thank you, Commissioner Snell and Commissioner Bear. All in favor will please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. Mary, don't get away. I need to talk with you and Kristen afterwards, if I might, just for a moment. Please take note of other minutes, commissioners. We're now up to public comment. Public comment is now open.
Good afternoon, Ken Wyatt. Just wanted to thank the committee for affirming my reappointment, which now goes to the full board, to the Wellwise Board. But beyond that, I was sitting there thinking of maybe something that you might enjoy hearing. This being Human Services Committee, seems to me that one of the greatest human services that there is the courtesy of returning phone calls and emails and other efforts to reach out to county officials. And just sitting there, I remember a few weeks ago, some of you were seated in this room when the room was packed with people, many of them very angry. I heard that there were some really blunt, crude words spoken to each of you. And, well, I thought maybe a little honey might make that go down a little easier. So just going back over the last recent history, I've placed calls or emails to various county officials. In fact, a couple of them are here today and made reports. I don't remember the lady's name from MSU, but Friday afternoon, I needed some information for a story I'm writing on a local farm. And I placed a call to the extension and ended up speaking with one of the staffers. And she told me she didn't have the information right at hand, but she would get back to me, the way she put it, before the afternoon's out. Well, came to 4:30 or so, and I was assuming that everybody would be splitting for the weekend. And here comes an email back to me. Ken, I'm sorry, I can't answer the question because that report, they only issue 5 years before, and the new one hasn't come out yet. She did offer me an email link to one of the MLive stories on that very issue. Then there was Danielle, who was here, giving a report from Department on Aging. A few weeks ago, I had some time after a medical appointment, stopped in at the Department on Aging and asked if she might be available just to receive a visit. And we talked for a little while, and then she took me back to for a couple pictures with some of the people playing cards that happened to be there for one of their programs. And where else can you get somebody that actually takes the time to meet with you and talk with you? I mean, that's rare. Appreciated. Jack McClogan from Parks Department a few weeks ago. I wanted an update on Swains Lake, the work that had been applied through the state for a grant. And bless his heart, in 2 or 3 days, he got back to me with a full report. And looks like you're in the cut again for this year, and hopefully we'll get the money from the state, which I believe really has the funds and ought to distribute them sometimes to smaller communities like ours. Any others? Well, Kara, who was just here, one of the greatest bright spots, I think, during my service the last 3 years on Wellwise. I was on the personnel committee, and we processed a number of really fine candidates. And like the candidates for the board, everybody was well qualified, and it was a tough call. But I'm glad that we made the decision that we did. She's a keeper. And then finally,
We love hearing it, Ken, but you have to wrap it up, okay?
well, I'll leave off Sierra Soul, who did respond to me a few weeks ago and on something else. But thanks for everything. God bless you.
Thank you, Ken. I didn't want to cut you off while you were telling all the good stuff we're doing. It was wonderful. Thank you, Ken, and we appreciate your service on the Wellwise Board. I think, let's see. I think we're probably up to committee member comments. Are there committee member comments? Seeing no committee member comments, we stand adjourned to the call of the chair. Thank you. And if I could see Mary and Kristen for about